Well, visiting Six Flags over Texas, I finally bought my first Flash Pass at a Six Flags park. But was this a good investment? And is it something worth considering while at Six Flags over Texas? Let me explain in this review. The Flash Pass is Six Flags' version of a Fast Pass or Quick Queue. This allows guests to pay a premium to skip lines, or some part of the queue line, during their visit. Normally, the basic version costs around $40 to $70 per day, and the price varies depending on how busy the park is predicted to be. I'm not a huge fan of buying these, as I much prefer to visit parks on quieter days when lines are already at a minimum. But especially with when I've planned my trips to over Texas, either spring break or Thanksgiving, I've had to deal with large crowds at that park. The basis for the Flash Pass is that you pick a ride and can virtually queue for that ride. Everything is done now on your phone, which makes the process super easy. And if you purchased a membership or Six Flags Plus, you will have one or more passes already saved to use. You can buy single shots, normally for around $8, though the price likely varies a lot. You can also buy the main pass that lets you use it all day. Higher level passes allow you to forego virtual queuing more, but are likely not worth it. After the attendant scans your barcode, you're free to select your next attraction, but you will likely have a 10 to 20 minute station wait for whichever coaster you're using your Flash Pass on. Thus, if you have the all-day pass, just book your next ride as soon as you enter the actual queue, and overall waiting should be near a minimum. The version I bought was actually more discounted at only $30, and was a 5 single-shot evening pass, which I had no idea they even offered, that allowed me to skip only 5 rides, but board about a minute after selecting the attraction. This actually ended up being better than what I paid for, as some attendants did not scan the pass correctly, or otherwise let me use my Flash Pass without even actually scanning it. So I got to use it a total of 7 times and still actually had an unused pass left over. I've had similar experience with attendants not scanning properly while using Quick Queue at Busch Gardens Tampa Bay, though low volume rides such as Cobra's Curse at Busch Gardens or La Vibora at Six Flags Over Texas will almost certainly scan your Flash Pass properly, which kind of makes sense. Speaking of La Vibora, this is a coaster that if you want multiple laps on it, you will need a Flash Pass. I always rope drop this coaster, but outside of that, expect it to have a 1 to 2 hour wait unless the entire park is dead. And if people are using the Flash Pass, the regular queue will only be loading into one train, some of which might only go out with 2 people in the car. It's a hyper unique and enjoyable coaster, even though I personally don't rank it that highly. Just know you have to have a very good plan if you want to experience this coaster without a long wait. As for my overall rope drop strategy, after running straight to La Vibora when it opens, they have not yelled at me for running, though it is technically not allowed. I would do whatever you can to keep up with the crowds and be on the very first train out of the station. Even getting the second train out of the station will cause you to have to wait an extra load cycle when you get back to the station to unload. If you have time or a Flash Pass, you can likely hit up Runaway Mountain twice without much of a wait, if you're moving quickly. If not, skip it and head to New Texas Giant. I've had this coaster open a few minutes after the park does, or otherwise just build up a 20-minute wait early on, but you should be fine with that type of wait. You should be able to get 2 laps on New Texas Giant relatively easily, though a Flash Pass could help save you 5 to 10 minutes here per ride if you have the all-day pass. Next, you should be able to head over to Titan, which due to its remote location should have virtually no line by this point. After this, I would head to Shockwave, which also should have no line, and Flash Pass is basically useless for it because the merge point is really far out. If you're planning to Flash Pass La Vibora, I would do it before leaving that half of the park, since it just is a rather long walk back there. But again, you can always come back later, especially if the park is opened for a long period of hours on that day. Now, All you'll have left are the main coaster clusters around Gotham City. If it is a busy day, expect almost all of these coasters to have an hour plus wait. Unless you're visiting in peak summer, I've normally seen about 2 of these coasters closed, and 2 additional coasters went down for periods during my most recent visit. Mr. Freeze, in particular, is prone to closing for maintenance during the day. It just sucks to be stuck in line for an hour only to have the ride close on you. All these coasters have Flash Pass lanes, though Batman and Joker were not available to book slots on the app when I bought my Flash Pass, which was a real bummer, as one of the main reasons I bought my Flash Pass in the first place was to get extra laps on Joker without having to wait for it. Despite its capacity, Batman will still get an hour wait most days due to its popularity. Flash Pass for Mr. Freeze drops you right off in the station, which is very reasonable for that coaster. If you want a lot of extra laps on it, I would also suggest going there at the end of the day, as you can likely stay on and get extra laps on the forward-facing train if they're sending out both sides at close. Judge Roy Scream and Mini Mine Train do not have Flash Pass lanes. For Judge Roy Scream, this likely is not going to be an issue. But Mini Mine Train can be a 30-minute wait for enthusiasts wanting to ride it. I've had good luck hitting it up towards the end of the day though, so just keep that in mind when making your plan. Aquaman, the new for 2023 coaster, and one of my favorites in the park, actually does not require the Flash Pass. The Flash Pass lane is the same as the single rider's lane. So as long as you're willing to split up your party, just use the single rider's lane and you should be able to get onto it relatively quickly. The single rider lane for Pandemonium does not work as well though, as I've waited about an hour and a half in it before, on a busy spring break day. Another wrinkle in whether you need a Flash Pass is Scream Break. In 2023, this was supposed to be a $40 upcharge offering exclusive ride time on certain coasters from 9 p.m. to midnight, which extended the overall hours of the park and made these coasters not a priority during the regular day. However, Six Flags did give this away free to members after the first few days of spring break, and there was still virtually no one left in the park at this time. It also included Flash Pass starting at 7 p.m. for the rides listed, though that seems slightly unnecessary with the ERT at the end of the night, but was a good way to marathon Aquaman on its opening week. If they do charge for Screen Break passes in the future, it may be worth considering buying this instead of a Flash Pass, especially because Flash Passes will be at a premium during spring break. Ultimately, do you need a Flash Pass at Six Flags Over Texas? This park seems to normally have limited hours, so if you're not going to get 10 hours in the park, it likely won't be worth waiting an hour or so for most of the coasters. If you want multiple rides on La Vibora or Mr. Freeze, you will likely need Flash Pass if it is anywhere close to being busy. With a large number of coasters, you won't have time to focus on other rides or shows with the crowds, so if seeing everything on one day of visiting is a priority, I'd highly consider the Flash Pass that makes sense for your budget. If you visit on quieter days, such as one weekend I went in February, where the park is normally open for 5 hours, you will likely encounter no waits. But we'll just need a solid plan to knock out everything in an efficient manner, as the park just is not open for that long. What are your thoughts on using Six Flags' Flash Pass? Is it worth paying for, especially at Six Flags Over Texas? Let me know, and as always, Kapkun Krap.
Unless we beat everybody here.
No, because we did not beat
Oh no,
it.
there's one guy on it.
Everybody probably went to La Vibora.
Probably.
Oh, the antique cars would be a good thing to do.
Yeah.
First thing.